Hi guys, so I recently got in my small die of the month for Spellbinders. So these are items that I pick up myself, and I'll have the links in the description box for you guys. There would be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase times to those links. I brought out the one from last month because I don't know what I want to do with it, but I like that this circle, and I didn't use it yet, coordinates back to like whatever's going on here. And what I want to show you about the June 2021 small die of the month is it's pretty cool, you guys. So I really encourage you to watch Spellbinders video on this. They use it in so many different ways and have so many different examples because there's just so much you can do. I mean, this is supposed to make a landscape kind of thing, but you can also put it to make a sky. Someone had said they made it to look like a lake view. I was mentioning maybe snow. I mean, you don't have to use with the cactus. You can use with cactus. You can do the starburst or the sunburst like this. You can just use the circle. You can put the sunburst part closer together, maybe do like a rainbow pattern, monochromatic pattern, like whatever it is that you like to do. I mean, there's so much. And then it has little leaves that are just kind of fun. Again, so all these pieces here cut up. Basically, another gal here had mentioned that you could just run it through with your embossing folder and it'll just make an impression if that's what you want, instead of having it actually cut the lines. And so, that's something else you can think of. So I also want to mention real quickly, because I do have the stamp of the month that Spellbinders had sent for a review earlier in the month. These coordinate back. So like this circle will cut out all these little shapes for you if you wanted to, or like the sentiments. I mean, even the little flock of birds or however, right? So all these different things. I think I lost one of my stamps. Oh no. Anyhow, so you have that. And that means it also goes back to basically the large die of the month because of the circles, right? If you want to use like one of the sentiments instead of or however. But either way, a lot of circular things going on here. They all kind of coordinate back. So what I was just thinking is something more organic. I wasn't really going to do the sun thing. Well, I was. And then I remembered that I still have to use a small die of the month from last month. And I thought, oh, and also, I don't know if you noticed the rebrand. So they've done that. And then also, Tonic has rebranded their items too, or their craft kit. So everyone's coming out with something fresh and new as far as the way they brand their products here. There you go. So what I think what I'm gonna do, and this might be weird, I'm gonna grab different. Do I want to do rainbow? I want to use this circle, and I want these rays to come from it. So it's not really gonna be rays. It's gonna be more like color block pieces, or whatever you want to call them. I guess color triangular pieces. I don't know. But I thought we can come with this and then have that come off of that instead of coming off of this. It's the same kind of thing, just that this has a decorative piece that I wanted to use. So I think we're gonna do that. Yeah. So let me grab some paper. We're gonna cut this like a bajillion times. So I will be right back. So this is a paper pack I picked up not too long ago from Hobby Lobby. So it's heavy duty cardstock. And I think I'm gonna use this because it's already in a rainbow pattern. Maybe not the colors. I have something in my throat this morning. Maybe not the color pattern I would pick up, like as far as the orange is kind of drab, but you know what, we're just gonna go for it. Oh, this is nice and thick. I know the heavyweight cardstock is obviously thick. It just always surprises me because I'm used to touching like the Recollection cheaper little thin paper. Yeah, that orange isn't as bright. I was like, they're kind of muted, these colors, which actually may be kind of fun. I don't know. We're just gonna go for it, and I don't know how many of each color to go with, and hopefully the pattern created will still make a rainbow pattern. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many of these I actually need to go around. I'm gonna do A2 card size. So I'm just gonna cut, what do you think, maybe 3 of each? Let's start with 3 of each and see if that takes us where we need to go. I'm just gonna use my marquee. This is, pretty small, and actually I can probably even use my little diamond press on this one. I'm trying to see. I'll just cut my paper thin enough for this too. So I'm able to cut 2 right now. Just like that. Excuse me. I tell you, is there a fire around here? There's always fires in California, unfortunately. But that's usually what really gets my allergies going more than anything else. And it can be far, far away, and I'm still like very much reacting to it. Okay. Let's go with this little guy. So yeah, I'm just gonna cut out 3 of each. I'm thinking that'll work. In the meantime, I'm also going to cut a piece of paper that is 4 by 5 1/4, a piece of white paper. It could be any color base, I guess, but I'm just going to go with white paper. Look at that. I'll be right back. I have my pieces here. Again, I don't know. They're actually in reverse order. how many I'm going to need, but I did do 3 of each. And then this again is 4. It's just a little bit bigger than 4 and just a little bit bigger than 5 1/4. That way when I do shave it down, it's just to make it more even later. But so yeah, so these are really cool because, like, again, you know, if you want to make them spaced out, you can definitely do that. That's going to be a little more difficult because you're going to eyeball it and you're going to have to, like, know that you're spacing them the way you want them to be. When you cut your little circle, that can also help you. You can also have it coming off. I should have probably cut a circle just to have it. Let me just cut a circle from this, from the set that it came with, just so you can kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. Let's just pretend we need this. So I honestly don't really know how I'm going to use it yet. I think I'm going to butt them up together though, like right next to each other. That takes some of the guesswork out of how far apart you want them and all that. But let's see here. So let's say you have your little circle. You can place it down. You can place these guys right at the circle, you know, off of the circle a little bit. I mean, however you want to place whatever it is. And then all the extra you just cut off later with, you know, your guillotine or whatever. And, you know, let's say there were sun rays. You would just keep going. Maybe different colors of yellow, or like, ooh, out here we get like pink and purple, but not from the sun, but like in the clouds, like in Arizona. Maybe not as pretty as in Arizona, but something similar. So again, you can put them right next to it. What I was thinking also is if you wanted to use this and like glue them to the back of the circle, you know, just because you want them to come out here, what I would do is take like one of these little guys and make yourself a smaller circle and just stick it to the back, and then that'll be your guide, you know? Like if I was to cut a little circle out and glue it back here, okay, it's 1/4 inch in, and it's always going to be 1/4 inch in because I'm going to follow along the circle. So that helps you place your pieces, I think. But like I said, I think what I'm going to do is maybe have them up here. Red, orange, yellow. I don't know where they need to be, so that's what I'm trying to see for right now. I might even need to cut more. Right? It looks like the 3 is barely going to get me a little bit. Here we go. Red, orange, yellow, green. And I guess it also depends where you want to orient it. I was thinking about putting my stuff up, you know, up here. Red. I'm just trying to get these going. Hold on. I think I need to cut at least one more set, maybe 2. Right? Because we're about 3/4 of the way, I would say. Red, yellow, orange, green. That's the only thing. I'm like, ooh, I want it to be exactly to go back to blue right here, you know? I don't know if it's going to happen. Or maybe. I'm trying to figure out how much... Where do I need to place this? I think if you brought it down towards the middle, that's a whole other thing. It just depends on where you're placing this, how many you're going to need. So I'm going to cut 1 more of each. I think we're going to need 2 more because it feels like a block of it goes like this. You know? Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're here. Again, I don't know if this... I think it might. But I went and looked for a purple, and I thought, well, if I squeeze a purple in here somewhere, that might be enough to just give me... It looks like maybe 4 more pieces would fit in there, right? So I squeeze in a purple. I think that'll work. So let me cut out 3 more purples, and let's see. That'll work. So it looks like if you want to do a rainbow pattern, you need 6 colors at least. I think that'll fit like in there. Okay, so let me take a moment just to arrange them, just so I kind of know if this is going to work. I'll be more careful about laying them out, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I kind of tucked it in, pulled it a little closer. There's this center area here. I like where it's at because I can see my white paper underneath here. I'm kind of in the top area of that, and I think that'll work. So what I'm gonna do, and this might be weird, is I'm gonna take that green circle. I just use this for like to judge what's going on. But I think what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of glue right here. And this is just how my brain's working on this. You can do, you know, completely different. And I'm gonna stick that down. And now when I go to glue these guys in, I'm gonna have a little bit of a gauge, kind of. Like, I like the way these are pretty much perfect. So now I'm just gonna glue these guys in. Should I just put glue all over the background? That's an interesting thing to think of. Because if we're just gonna put tons of glue down, you know, because we really are going to use this whole and I use the shimmery paper on purpose, and I'll tell you why. Because what's this stuff called? My deluxe adhesive stays wet a little bit longer, so I can manipulate it. Let's say I don't really like where I'm going with it. I can still kind of mess with it when it's on glossy paper. So all I'm doing is tucking these in, and I'm minding this. So I'm keeping them very tight together, but I'm also, I want to use that. I'm also looking at keeping that there and keeping the height of the circle, you know what I'm saying, that circumference, the same. And I think that'll help out. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do, guys. Just put a little glue, stick it down, paying attention to that these are close together, and that the height of my circle is the same. Okay. Yeah, I think I like putting glue all over the surface. It just made it easier. All right, I'm gonna keep working around and just adding glue as I need to, and I'll be right back. This is working up so easy. I mean, I did have to kind of plan, you know, because if the circle was right in the middle, it's going to be maybe a different amount of pieces. I don't know. Red, orange, yellow, sorry. And so this is how I figured it out. It is going to look longer from here to here than when we first put them on, because this part's shorter. But so I'm just continuing, just adding them in. Orange, yellow, green. Hopefully I don't mess up the order. That would be something I would do. Okay, again, minding that circle, that circumference, and I'll be right back. So as I placed this last one, I did have a little bit of a gap, so I just moved some of these over to try to split the difference, but, you know, again, first time trying it out. So it looks like if you're using 6 colors, like I said, the rainbow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you need 4 sets, right? And I'm gonna let this set up a little bit, but all I'm gonna do is just come in with my guillotine, and the first time I'll cut is like, I'll just pay attention to the actual paper, you know, like I'll look through here and I'll kind of eyeball what's going on here. Just kind of lining that up with the very edge. And I'll cut all those pieces off. And then after that, I can start kind of like eyeballing the actual size that I need to cut, right? So for now, I'm just looking at the edge of that, lining it up with my guide, so I know that I'm straight. I'm looking at the plastic right now. I don't even care about the actual cutting measurements. So after that, now when I cut, I have a smooth edge that I can come over here and say, okay, I need this to be 5 1/4. So 5 1/4, and then give it a chop. Right? I said I was gonna let it set up, but I guess I didn't. And then by 4. So 4, and then give it a chop. I do want to make sure that I'm kind of splitting the difference the right way. I'm gonna cut a little bit off of this side, not quite at 4 yet. Oh yeah, so I can still take off a little bit off this side and still be pretty good. Now I eyeballed this whole thing. If you really want it dead center, what you can do is measure, you know, use your protractors and things and whatnot to make sure that you're dead center. But I eyeballed it, and that's pretty close. Okay, let me clean this up with all these little extra bits that are everywhere from all the die cutting we did. And I'm gonna get the topper that I want to use, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have that cut down. I have a card base here that we're just going to put that on. I did cut some of these green leaves. I don't know if I'm going to use them. I just wanted to see if there's more in the set. I cut some of that shimmery white paper. And then with this one, I should have already grabbed it. I'm going to cut in gold, I think, just to be a little extra. Ooh, I have some gold right here. I always have scraps of things sitting next to me. So I'm going to run these through together. Of course, tape them so that it doesn't move. And I'll run it through and I'll be right back. How pretty is this? I think just gold on gold, or even just that little green behind it. I just put that there to kind of help us guide what we were doing. Oh, so pretty. All right, I'm going to glue these two together again, probably putting glue on the back of my hand and sticking that down. And I will be right back. I'm just going to do it like that. We're going to pop this up and then maybe stamp just "You're my favorite person on earth." I don't know. It's an interesting card, so it's like I don't know what to put on there as far as a sentiment, because it's just like a rainbow with like some cool mandala kind of shape in there. So just a piece of white cardstock. Stamp that real quick. Aw. So I'm just going to cut this with my guillotine straight and then probably line it with one of the color. Oh, maybe with gold. I guess with gold. And I'll be right back. I cut this. It ended up being 1/4 inch by 3.5, which I didn't even plan that. I was just looking at it and kind of just cutting. So I made this one to be just over 1/4 inch by 3 3/4. Didn't realize the white paper I was stamping on was actually pattern paper, but you know, that's what happens. I was like, oh, white paper. I just grabbed it and I'm like, oh, it's pattern paper. So I'm just going to put that on that little gold piece. I'm going to let that set up because that is going to take a while to dry because of the shiny metallic nature of that gold paper. So I'm just going to put that on there. Again, I completely eyeballed that, so. All right, I will be right back. I did put dimensional adhesives on the back of this, though. Oh. Basically, I'm going to place this on here so that's centered, you know, in that circle. And I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm just kind of playing with this as I'm waiting for this to dry. I was like, well, I'll put some leaves in. I don't know if I did. It's very, I don't know why I'm thinking like Age of Aquarius feeling. No, like very groovy. It's, I don't know. Has a very different feel to me. So definitely if you're going to do this, you got to plan it out. Like I wanted mine all close together. If you want to leave some little spacing, you know, you're still going to kind of want to play with it and see exactly how many you need so that at the end it looks nice as far as the pattern, right? Because it might end up that your pattern ends after green and then you're like, oh, it goes from green to red, you know. So you really want to plan it out and see how many you need for that to work. If you're doing like little sun rays, then it doesn't even matter because you can just leave spacing and it stops wherever you want it to stop, right? But for me, since I went for like probably one of the most difficult things you could do with this set, I think that's good though, because you guys can kind of see how we had to plan it out and kind of tighten it up and do what we have to do. And I'm just gonna put that right there. I don't know if I'm gonna use these leaves or not, but there it is. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll have the links in the description box, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.